Okay, good morning, everybody. As we go to the chitas of today, we are holding, and today is Monday, we're holding the second reading of the portion of Kedoshim. It is on chapter 19, verse number 15. Do not commit no injustice in judgment. You shall never favor a poor person. Neither you should respect a great person when they're standing in front of you in court. It said that you shall judge your fellow with righteousness. So Rashi says this verse teaches us that a judge who's corrupt, the law is called unjust, is called unjust, hated and disgusted, fit to be destroyed as an abomination. Just as an unjust person is called an abomination, as the verse says, whoever does these things, whoever perpetrates such injustice is an abomination to the Lord. Abomination is called a chedim, somebody who's doomed to destruction. And this disgusting thing, as the verse says in Deuteronomy, you'll bring an abomination into your house. At least you destroy. Chedim is a destruction. Like it. But you shall utterly detest it. It means injustice. Showing any favoritism in law is it totally injustice and totally corrupt and so totally a total abomination. Oh, I totally lost myself. This means that one should not say that a poor man and the rich man is obligated to fight for him, and therefore I'm going to judge for the poor man. Nor should you show respect to great. This means that you should not say this man is a rich man, son of a prominent people. How can I embarrass him? And behold the shame, and therefore I'm going to judge in his favor. It said that the Tishbet Amisecha, this is to its simple meaning. You need to judge you need to judge everybody favorably. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Verse 16. Do not go around gossip mongering amongst your people. Do not stand on the shedding of your fellow's blood. Many of these psukim have many meanings. This is a long Rashi, but Rashi just proving what it says in the beginning. So we'll say the beginning of the Rashi. Rashi says the word Rachel. It's explaining the word Leiselach and Rachel. Leiselach means not to go. I say that since those who instigate quarrels and speak evil talk, holchim, into their friends' houses, they're like spies, leragel, to spy on somebody, that what evil they can see there, or what evil they can hear. And why are they going here? To go around and tell in the marketplace. They're called Holchei Rachel, those who go out about and spying. And then Rashi proves it from different psukim, that that's the expression of Leiselach Rachel. It means to go out and gossip monger. That says means do not stand by watching your fellow death when you are able to save him. You're obligated, when you have the capability to save somebody, you're obligated to save him. For example, if he's drowning in the river, or a wild beast of robbers come upon him, you can't say, I see no evil, hear no evil. I have a mitzvah to save a person. Ani Hashem, now she says again, whenever it says Ani Hashem, I am God, is Ne'eman l'schalam schar, I am trustworthy to pay. I'm trustworthy, even though you cannot bring a person to court that he didn't save somebody. But God says, I will repay a person that saves somebody, and I will punish a person that does not save a person. Do not hold hate in your brother in your heart. You should surely rebuke him. Never walk around hating somebody. Air it out. And not bear a sin on his account. Rashi says, meaning in the course of your rebuking your fellow, to be careful how you rebuke somebody, because you don't want to embarrass him. Because if you embarrass him, that is a sin. So you have to rebuke, you have to know how to rebuke a person. Be very careful. Verse 18, you should not take revenge, nor shall you bear a grudge. Against a member of your people. I am God, your God. You love thy neighbor as thyself. Ani Hashem, I am. Rashi says, what does it mean taking revenge? For example, if he says, lend me your sickle, and the latter says, no. Next day, the guy comes and says, lend me your axe. And you say to him, I will not lend you, just as you did not lend me. This constitutes revenge. And what's constitutes bearing a grudge? For example, he says to him, lend me your axe. The guy says no. The next day, the other guy asked him for his sickle. Now, if he says to him, here is what you asked, I'm not like you, who did not lend to me, this constitutes bearing a grudge. He keeps the hatred in his heart, even though he does not take revenge. He gives him the object. But if you tell the guy, I'm not like you, that's a concept of holding a grudge. If the guy didn't want to lend it to you, doesn't mean you shouldn't lend it back something to him. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Rabbi Akiva said, this is a fundamental principle of the Torah. Verse 19. So, you shall observe my statute. You shall not crossbreed your livestock with different species. You're not allowed to sow your field in mixture of seeds. Begekalayim shatnez, and you're not allowed to wear a garment that has a mixture of shatnez, which is wool and linen, together. You're not allowed to wear it together. And that's a chukah. That's a decree. It has no meaning. It has no reason. I mean, they are the following: you shall not crossbreed your livestock in different species. These terms, chukim, statute, refer to decrees divine that have no rationale. Begekalayim, why is it stated? Scripture say you should not wear a mixture of wool and linen together. That's what he says later in Deuteronomy. I might think that one may not wear, even sharing a wool is beaten together with stalks of linen. Therefore, Scripture is a garment. Thus excludes pieces of wood and linen combined together. You're allowed to wear, you put on yourself not a garment. The Torah is talking about a garment. Anything that's not a garment is allowed to be put upon you. And we know that includes this prohibition also felt, although it's not a garment, but only a belt. The scripture employs the word shatnez, acting the word show, combined, toe, spun, noise, woven. And noise twisted, even though the materials in question combed, spun, and twined together, although it does not form a garment. And I say that the term noise denotes a material made from fibers which have been stretched and twined together in order to join it together. Fit for use because the hard, dry seed, na'azi, that they have, a term which we explained to me, hardened, just fibers of noise clothes become hardened when they are entwined together, melted. Disregard to actually the word shatnez. So now, actually is explaining the word shatnez. Anything that's a garment, which a belt is also considered a garment, that's why you can wear a belt on Shabbos, because it's considered one of the garments that we wear. Even though it's holds up a garment, it's considered a garment. Therefore, you're not allowed to wear even a belt that is mixed of wool and linen together. Verse 20 is also a very complicated verse. A man lies carnally with a woman, and she's a handmaid, designated to a man. She is betrothed. But she was not redeemed. Or she was not given her emancipation. She was not given her freedom. The Kurdish Tia, they shall be investigated. They cannot put them to death. Because she's not free. So here the Rashi says, and the Gemara explains that we're talking about over here, very, 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 very isolated case, a case of a woman that's a handmaid, that shivcha, that maid, Cananite, not a Jewish maid, non-Jewish maid that is not free, because once she becomes free, she becomes a total Jewish person in Jewish law. We're talking about a servant in this aspect. So we're talking about somebody that was a handmaid that was a half a handmaid. She was half freed, and that's how she became betrothed to a man. This is a very, very peculiar case. Designated specific with Rashi says, Cherefes, I do not know the term resembling it anywhere in scripture. The scripture is speaking about a Canaanite handmaid, partially a handmaid and partially a free woman, meaning she belongs to two partners, and one freed her, his part of her, who betrothed to a Hebrew slave, who was permitted to marry a handmaid. So we're talking about a very, very isolated case. A case of a world that has, she's a servant to two people. One person freed her and one person didn't free her. She's a half-freed person. And she was then betrothed to a Jew. And now she had a relationship with somebody else. We have to learn the Dasa. She was not redeemed. But she is redeemed, but not redeemed. She's half redeemed. And when it's qualified of pidyon, redemption, employer means redemption with money. She was freed. She was redeemed through money, or she was redeemed through a document. Now she says, Bekoides, which is the result, the woman being given lashes, but not the man. The court is obligated to investigate the matter in order to sentence him or her to death, since she's not been completely freed. And therefore, her marriage is not completely binding. Our rabbis, however, learned from this verse, whoever is sentenced to lashes as this woman shall be accompanied b'kodesh, meaning it will be investigated. This is an extremely difficult case of investigation to figure out what kind of person is she? Is she a free person or a non-free person? Is it possible to be half freed and half unfreed? If she's freed, she's punishable. If she's not freed, she's not. So that's why, therefore, Rashi says, this case is therefore the man is not liable to death because didn't have a relationship with a total free person. Because intimacy with her since she's marriage is not binding. Follows then that if she had been freed, her marriage would be binding. And it would be liable to death. That's how, if she would totally freed and she married to another person, then by her relationship with another man, this man would be put to death. But right now, she's only half freed. And you need to learn the Gemara. Gittin, two Gemaras on this very difficult concept, and as I said, a very, very unusual situation. The Havias Hashem says in this situation where you cannot punish this person because it's an unclear situation, she's half and half. You have to bring a carbon, you have to bring a sacrifice. You have to bring a carbon, to bring a sin offering, guilt offering, or Pesach. You can't bring a sin offering because it's half. Not sure that he sinned. So that's why it's called the guilt offering. This is a guilt ram offering, which we mentioned in the beginning of Vayikra, what to do with it. And the Kayin, we're talking about a guy who did it unintentionally. He didn't know that she was freed and half freed. He didn't have no idea. So even though shouldn't be having a relationship with a woman unless he married, but he did. He had a taiva. We cannot punish him for that. He's not punishable for that if she would be totally unconnected. But over here, it's a questionable connection. And therefore, he has to bring a guilt offering. And by bringing this offering, he'll be forgiven for his sin. And he'll be forgiven for the sin that he has done. Now she says, actually, I take it back, this apparently superfluous phrase for the sin that he had committed is written to include an intentional sinner with like an unintentional sinner. In this law, there will be no difference between intentional sinner and unintentional sinner, because even the intentional sin in this situation is not, maybe he didn't sin. Cannot punish a person for not doing a sin totally. We're not sure, because it's a very, very peculiar case. We're talking about a handmaid that was half freed and half slave. And that completes the Chumash of today. We now go to the Tanya of the day. Now, the Rebbe, we're holding in the middle, I believe, chapter 44, correct? Holding in the middle of chapter 44, and that the Rebbe gets a little Kabbalistic here. So the Alter Rebbe explains that everything that in life that we have in this world has a repercussion in the upper worlds. And we learn in Chassidus always that everything that we do in this world, it has its connection to the higher world. So in this aspect of these two ava, these two loves, love ava rabba, the love of a tzaddik, like the love that's given to you through, so to say, as a gift. That aspect of love is ava rabba, my soul, like that's a concept of ava tanugim, a delight. And then you have ava soilom, the concept of a love that comes through one's intellectual comprehension and one's inner, to awaken his inner love that was given to him as a gift, also as a gift, as the Yerusha inheritance from the patriarchs. So the Alter Rebbe gets a little Kabbalistic. These two categories of love, that is my soul, and the love a Jew feels for God upon realizing that this is his true life, and that which is like a son, love of God, one true father. Even though it's inheritance from our fathers, from the patriarchs, it's like a natural instinct in our soul. And so too is the natural instinct. And therefore, since it's a natural instinct of our soul, therefore it has, as the Alter Rebbe said before, has a little bit of fear of God. And what is the fear? Since I love the Eibishter, I love God so much, therefore I don't want to disconnect from it. I don't want to disconnect from the source of my my life. Avinu Amite, my true father, Baruch Hu, blessed be he. So when one feels that God is a true source of life, he will fear to transgress so as not to become separate from the source of his life. The feeling of God being one's true father will likewise keep him from sinning, since he does not want to be torn away from his father. Although both of the mentioned degrees of love and fear are intrinsically found within a Jew, nevertheless, they are not termed natural fear and love unless therefore you need to reveal it. That you have it naturally. How do you know? It's just an instinct. It's basically something that is hidden. And it's not even, can't even call it natural until you bring it into your mind. But Talum is live, and you can alone in unless they be in the mind and thought alone in the latency of his heart. And then their place is in the 10 spheres of Yetzirah. And there goes up their connection, all the Torah mitzvahs that he does with this love. Now we learned to Chassidus that there are 4 worlds: the world of Atzilus, the world of Bria, the world of Yitzir. As I said, Alter Rebbe gets a little Kabbalistic, and everything that I do here in this world, the way I express myself in Kabbalah, the way I express myself in this world, that's the way it reflects itself in the upper worlds. So it either can reflect itself in the world of Yitzirah, the world of formation, or it can reflect itself in the world of creation, or ultimately can express itself in the world of emanation. So therefore, the world of emanation is called the world of wisdom. And that's where the tzaddikim affect their love of God, affecting the world of emanation. Our service of God can either reflect itself into the world of creation or into the world of formation. So if we do it through true contemplation, then it goes to the world of formation. It goes to the world of creation, which is the world of intellect. This is abundance, not the world of intellect. The world is abundance, the world of contemplation. The world of emanation, Atzilus, is the world of wisdom. The world of creation is the world of understanding. So therefore, if we have a relationship with God through our understanding, we reach up. It reflects, our service reflects in the world of creation. If we do it with less understanding, with just emotions, very little bit understanding, it reaches up to the world of formation. With that, the world of formation is only on a more of emotional world. But when but when they are the 2 degrees of love are manifest in the state of his heart as a result of his contemplation, that's the second level, not something that it does have no concept because I'm basically I have no contemplation. I was doing it because I love my father and I believe in God and I believe that he's my creator. It's very, very shallow contemplation, very moment contemplation, moment of thought. Therefore, it doesn't reach much further in the world of Yitzhira, the world of formation. But if we have contemplation, that's what Alter Rebbe wants a person to have contemplation. That's called in Zohar Ruta Deliber, the heart's desire, a more exalted love than natural love. And that's where it reaches up to Yitzhira the Bria. There, my service of God through contemplation reaches up to a higher world, to the world of creation. And then I bring up, and that's the most important thing, because as the Alter Rebbe explained, that love and fear of God is the wings of the mitzvah. So the more the contemplation I have, the more I elevate my Torah mitzvahs. So if I don't do it through contemplation, I just do it with a little love and fear of God. It goes to the world of formation. But if I have more contemplation, I bring up my Torah to a much higher level. I bring up my Torah to the world of creation, which is the world of understanding. As Alter Rebbe says, because since it emerges from the latency of the concealment of the heart, you bring it through contemplation. El Bechinas Gila, you're revealing it through your contemplation. Hidadas is through my knowledge. With Kiyas HaMachshava, when I through my powerful fixation in my mind, to the depths of my heart. Yativ v'tadim, powerful and frequently, in the infinite light of God. How is Taka our life? Vavino Amiti, not I'm just saying he's my father, but he is my father, so to say. Baruch Hu, blessed be he. And since his contemplation is powerful and deep, so moreover, we should know what's written in the Zohar. It's known that in the world of Bria, the world of creation, nests the supernal mother. The supernal mother is Bina, is understanding. The level of Bina, supernal mother is the Bina of Atzilus. So the father and mother is in the world of Atzilus, but that's Ima Ilah, the higher level of mother, the higher feminine, is in the world of Atzilus, that comes down into the mother, the lower mother, in the world of understanding. In terms of man's spiritual, with this contemplation, infinite light of Ein Sof Baruch Hu, the giver of life, blessed be he. As the Elijah, statement Elijah, we say on Erev Shabbos, Bina Liba Bahalev Mevi. Teachings of Elijah the prophet, in the Kunei Zohar, in the Zohar, in the section beginning Elijah, Pasach Eliyahu, which we say this on Erev Shabbos before Mincha. Bina is in the heart, and with it, the heart understands. This means to say that the meditation understanding taking place in the mind illuminates the heart. And that's the Bina of the mind, illuminates the Bina of the heart. So that's Ima Ilah, the higher level of mother, through the lower level of mother, comes and connects these two understandings, the understandings of my understandings to the understandings of Bina, the higher understanding in the world of emanation. So, as I said, it's a little Kabbalistic. Since the contemplation of godness is related to the world of Bria, the world in which illuminated by the Bina of Atzilus, but everything is illuminated, even the world of Bria, the world of creation, is illuminated by the understanding of the world of emanation, Atzilus. It follows that the various forms of love, which are revealed through such contemplation, have their place in that world as well. And it is there that they elevate one's Torah mitzvahs. The Alter Rebbe now goes on to say, the two kinds of love, my soul and my son, not only have the quality of love that results from contemplation, but they also have the quality of Ava Rabba. That's what the Alter Rebbe really wants to say. So even though we don't have Ava Rabba, regular persons don't merit to Ava Rabba, because we only merit to Avas Olam, which is a love through our contemplation. But since our contemplation reaches up to the world of Bria, so maybe we don't have it in this world, but in the upper worlds, The Zohar says that through our contemplation, this world, we affect the upper worlds. And not only we affect the upper world, we affect till the world of emanation. And therefore, since we affect both of those worlds, our mitzvahs reach up to those worlds. And that's the power of doing Torah mitzvahs through kavanah, through having contemplation and understanding and trying to awaken up our love of God through our understanding. So this, since these two kinds of love possess all these qualities, it would seem that they should be suffice. And the love born wholly of intellect is superfluous. Nevertheless, the Alter Rebbe concludes that a Jew should also strive to attain the love that results wholly from contemplation in greatness of God, because the reasons he will give. Furthermore, the two categories of love that have been referred to above, the love of my soul and the love of like a son, incorporate a quality of love which is a greater, more sublime than the intellect for fear and love, the kind that result from contemplation of greatness. The love term about Avas Elam. These two kinds of love also partake the quality of Avarab, as I just said, which is loftier than Avas. The Rebbe explains, it does this short explanation. The Ava Rabba is rooted in Atzilus. The Ava Rabba, love and delight, is rooted in the world of Atzilus, which is far superior than Biriya, the world of creation, where Avas Elam is rooted. The Rebbe alludes this by saying furthermore, meaning that the loves not only have two qualities of natural love and intellectual love found in the world of Yetzirah and Bria respectively, but they also have the quality of the love of Ava Rabba found in the world. They're all interconnected. So now the Rebbe says, go on your journey, even if you have an instinct love, even if you have an intellectual love. Ultimately, even if you have Ava Rabba, you have a delightful love. They're ultimately all interconnected. And by connecting to one, automatically you connect to all of them. So even though you're not yourself going to reach up to that level of this delightful love, but Lamaila, above, it's going to be reflected in all the worlds, in the world of emanation, the world of creation, and the world of formation. This tremendous quality, notwithstanding, the Alter Rebbe concludes that it's necessary to achieve love brought about wholly through contemplation, for this love is unique in its passion and its yearning for godliness, and therefore for every single Jew, the more contemplation we have, the more meditation we have, the better it's going to be for the mitzvahs and for the Torah that we learn. Because the more we have it, the more we bring about the unity of the Eimei Law, the supernal mother, with the mother, that means an understanding of the world of emanation, and the mother that's in the world of creation, and we'll bring it together to connect it to the Father, to the wisdom of the world of emanation, the world of Atzilus, which is Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which is Hu v'Chachmas Yechad, him and his wisdom as one. So him and his wisdom, him and Atzilus, God, entity is one, ultimately connect to that. I connect my Torah mitzvahs ultimately to that. As I said, beautiful concept in Kabbalah, something that you need to read a couple of times to ultimately comprehend exactly what the Zohar wants to teach us. I wish you all a wonderful day. Today is the first day. I wish you a good Chodesh. Today is the first day of the month, and the Tillim of the day is 1 to chapter 9. And if you do the Tillim for 1 to 9, you would have done the Tillim, you would have done the Chitas of the day. Wish you all a good day, a happy day, a healthy day. See you tomorrow morning at 8.
So